Hello guys, welcome to Pharma palette. In the last video, we learned how to draw the structure of eye. Today we will see the physiology of vision, how the light entering the eye is converted into vision. Simple steps, easy understanding and exam oriented points. Stay till the end because once you understand this process, you will never forget the vision again. So, coming back to the first step in the physiology of vision is the refraction of light. So the light rays are entering into the eye through the cornea, then they pass into the aqueous humor. From there it reaches pupil, then to the lens and finally reaches the vitreous chamber. And also the lens that is present, it will be adjusting its curvature, especially for the accommodation. This after adjusting, this is useful for focusing the light. So once the light is focused on the retina, so the light is focused on the retina. That means especially in the area which is called as fovea centralis. So to understand what is fovea centralis, what is vitreous chamber, you need to know the diagram which we have discussed in the previous video. What happens in the refraction of light? The light rays will be entering into the eye through the cornea, then they will be passing through the aqueous humor, enters into the pupil, then to the lens and reaches the vitreous chamber. And this lens will be adjusting its curvature for the accommodation. Especially this is useful for focusing the light. Once the light gets focused onto the retina, especially in the area called as fovea centralis. So this is what happens in the first step, which is refraction of light. Now let's get into the second step. So coming back to the second step, the image formation on the retina. So whatever may be the image formed in the retina, it will be real, inverted and diminished image. So this retina is a space that is mainly useful for converting the light energy into the electrical signals. So the light energy is converted into electrical signals and the image which is formed is real, inverted and diminished. So coming back to the third step, it is the stimulation of photoreceptors. So this retina, it will be containing two photoreceptors. So one is called as the rods, second one is cones. So rods are mainly useful for the dim light, night vision or black and white. Whereas these cones are useful for seeing the bright light, color vision or visual acuity. So this rods and cones, they will be having some photopigments inside it. For example, if you consider the rods, they will be having the photopigment which is called as rhodopsin. Whereas the second one, cones, the photopigment which is called as lodopsin. One is rhodopsin, one is lodopsin. So these are the photopigments that are present. So in the stimulation of the photoreceptors, retina is mainly having two photoreceptors. One is rods and cones. Rods are mainly responsible for seeing the dim light, night vision and black and white colors. Whereas these cones are useful for seeing the bright light, color vision and the visual acuity. So these rods and cones are having some photopigments. One is rhodopsin that is present in rods, lodopsin present in the cones. So coming back to the next step, which is called as phototransduction. In this phototransduction, it is also called as photochemical reaction. Here, the light will be breaking this rhodopsin pigment into retinal and opsin, due to which there will be closure of this Na plus channels, which will be leading to the condition called as hyperpolarization, due to which there will be decreased glutamate release, which further leads to the generation of this electrical signals. So the next step is the transmission within the retina. We already know that in the last step the electrical signals are generated. Now these electrical signals will be passing in this order. First they will be entering into the photoreceptors, then to the bipolar cells, then finally reaches the ganglionic cells. So normally this ganglionic cells are having the axons. So the axons of ganglionic cells, they will be forming the optic nerve. Axons of ganglion cells will be forming the optic nerve. So coming back to the last two steps, one is the visual pathway and visual cortex interpretation. So in the visual pathway, what happens is there is optic nerve. So this will be entering into optic chiasma. So there will be some partial dissociation. So here the synapse This further continues as an optic tract. So there is a synapse at the lateral geniculating body of thalamus. So from there, the fibers will be passing through the optic radiation. And coming to this visual cortex interpretation, here the impulses will be reaching the primary visual cortex. So once after the impulses reaches this primary visual cortex, this is also called as an occipital lobe. This is called as occipital lobe. Now here what happens is the brain starts interpreting the size, shape, color or the movement. It will start to interpret. Then after interpretation, this will be producing the visual perception. After interpretation, it produces the visual perception. Then we can see the color vision. It can be red, blue or green. And when there is a combined stimulation, all the colors can also be perceived. Now we will try to see the complete whole physiology with the help of simple flowchart. With the help of this simple flowchart, you can know the physiology of vision. So, initially the visual receptors, rods and cones contains photosensitive pigments. So, these visual pigments will be undergoing chemical reaction. Then there will be development of electrical activity, generation of impulses, which are also called as action potentials, that further gets transmitted into the impulses. These these action potentials will transfer the impulses through the visual pathway. Then finally visual perception can be seen by the visual cortex. So now you know how light becomes vision, not just to remember but to truly understand. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Pharma Palette. See you all in the next video and thanks for watching.